Oh, hello. I thought today we'd do Tony's British English on top of a mountain. It's cold, but this is no ordinary mountain. This is the highest mountain in the world. What is the highest mountain in the world? Yes, Mount Everest. Mount Everest is the highest mountain in the world. Welcome to Tony's British English. Now today we're going to look at superlatives. Last time we looked at comparatives. But now we're going to look at superlatives. When do we use superlatives? Well, I'll tell you. We use superlatives when it is number one. There is nothing above them. So we say, the highest mountain in the world is Mount Everest. The longest river in the world is the Nile. The oldest man in the world is Japanese at 116 years. The longest bridge in the world is in China. And the tallest man that ever lived was a man called Robert Wadlow. He was nearly 2 meters tall, very tall. As you can hear, we're using adjectives with one syllable, short adjectives. So we say tall, high, long, old, big, one syllable. The tallest man in the world, the highest mountain in the world, the longest river in the world, the oldest man in the world, the biggest country in the world. So we use the and est. The biggest, the longest. Just very quickly though, have a look at the word big. Because big is spelt B-I-G, we have I, then we have G. I is a vowel. G is a consonant. Now, when we want to make a comparative, we double the G. So we have big and the biggest. The biggest country in the world is Russia. The longest river in the world is the Nile. The highest mountain in the world is Mount Everest. Cool. Isn't life easy? Now it gets more complicated, as all things. Because if we want to make a superlative from an adjective that has 3 syllables, expensive, expensive, dangerous, poisonous, then we can't say dangerous, the dangerous. It's too difficult to say. So what we say, the most, the most. Now with adjectives of 3 syllables, we add the most. So we say the most expensive, the most dangerous, the most poisonous, the most important. Yeah? The most dangerous animal in the world is the mosquito. is the mosquito. It kills 2 million people a year. A lot of people. The most poisonous snake in the world is in Australia. And the most expensive hotel in London is the Savoy. So we add the most with adjectives of 3 syllables. Now we have irregular time. Okay, so irregulars. Irregulars are all over the language, but let's have a look at irregulars in superlatives. Now, let's start with the word good. I'm a good boy. She's a good girl. He's good at football. He's good at skiing. Good, simple word. But if we want to make it superlative, we say the best. The best. So you could say Messi is the best football player in the world, or Ronaldo is the best football player in the world. The best. So good is the adjective, the best is its superlative. Okay, now if you want to go down, we can say not as good. And here we can say worse. At the bottom we can say the worst. I am the worst football player in the world. I am the worst cook in the world. So we have good and the worst. Let's have a look at the word less. Now less we can use comparatively. I like him less than you. I like it less than you. Comparing. But if we want to make it superlative, we say the least. The least. I like football the least. He gave me the least amount of money. Let's have a sentence. Let's see what goes on there. Bob is good at football. His friend is good at football, but I'm not good at football. I am the worst. Bob has £1 million. His friend has £500,000. I have 10p. So I have the least amount of money. Happy, happiest. That ends in Y, and we want to change it to a superlative, then we get rid of the Y and we put an I instead. So we have pretty, prettiest. And one more thing as well. Sometimes adjectives end in ing. So we have the word boring, interesting, fascinating. These all end in ing. So we always use the most. The most interesting book I've ever read. The most boring exhibition I've ever seen, etc., etc. There we are. Superlatives. Easy. Okay, see you next week. And Bob isn't here today because he's on holiday. Now next week we're going to see where he's gone on holiday. Okay, see you soon, yeah? All the best. Speak to you soon. Bye.